player props here on PrizePicks for Friday, March 21st. Before we get started, you guys take a look in the description below. Hop into the Discord. $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. So I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Currently doing a promo right now. First time members of the Discord, 20% off your first month. Comes up to like $6 for the full first 30 days. Again, link in the description below for that using promo code TUFF. I also want to mention I'm not a gambling expert. It's not financial advice. Simply just plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully give you guys some insight and analysis to make your own player prop decisions here. Again, no one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourselves. But let's get right into it. Pretty massive NBA slate here overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 NBA games. So 20 NBA teams playing tonight. Yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's just get right into it. The first play I'm looking at here is going to be Denny Avdia over 35 fantasy score. We look at this matchup here, Denver at Portland. It's actually a 1.5 point spread. No Jokic in this one. Jokic has already been ruled out. Jamal Murray is questionable. So again, just further increasing the odds of this game being competitive. But Portland actually 31-39 plays really well at home this season too. But Denny Avdia, just a high usage player that can fill the stat sheet. You can see here these last 5 games: 62, 45, 35. 23 and 64.2 fantasy. He's got 3 of his last 5 games, 45 plus fantasy, including 2 games with 62 plus fantasy points. Just absolutely incredible what he's doing right now when he sees the minutes. Has seen 41, 34, 39 minutes in those games when he's, seen decent minutes. He's been able to clear this line. We look at per 36 minutes this season with Jeremy Grant off the floor. Now currently, looking at this, Jeremy Grant's doubtful, Aiton's out, Jabari Walker's out, and Robert Williams is out, which again, Denny Avdia is going to play 34 plus minutes in a competitive game. But just with Jeremy Grant off the floor this season, per 36 minutes, Denny Avdia averages 41 fantasy points per 36, 1.1 fantasy points per minute. All right, if we were to just change this to like over the last 30 days with Jeremy Grant off the floor at home, Denny Avdia 43.4 fantasy points, 1.2 fantasy points per minute. Elite fantasy score upside for the way he's able to fill the stat sheet. You can see here this season with 32 plus minutes at home, Denny Avdia is over this line in 10 of 11 games. And you can see some of these lines that he's had in some of these massive games, right? And then also forwards have just been really doing well versus Denver recently. If you look at just forwards fantasy score game log versus the Nuggets in 25 plus minutes. Jimmy Butler, 48.6 fantasy. Jaron Green, 44.7. Champagny, 39.6. Connect, 35.9. Randall, 36.3. Lou Dort, 49.4. Durant, 44. DeRozan, 46. Jaylen Brown, 47. Forwards. And just defensively, and I think the whole scheme for the Nuggets as a whole gets thrown off with Jokic off the floor. So it should just be a great spot for Denny Avdia, just a high usage player, able to fill a stat sheet. You can see the hit right here. Looking over on Outlier, again, there's a link in the description below. You can get a 7-day free trial with Outlier. It is a research betting tool that I do use every single day. We look at steals plus blocks for Denny Avdia, or not steals plus blocks, sorry, PRA. Let me go to PRA. Where's PRA at? PRA. And the Nuggets overall allow the 6th most points and the 2nd most assists in the NBA. Denny Avdia plays a combination of small forward, power forward, but offensively, he's more of a small forward. 5th most points and the most assists to the small forward position in the NBA this season. So I really do love this spot for Denny Avdia against the Nuggets at home. Again, also his home versus away splits are pretty elite as well. More points, more assists. Everything else is pretty much the same, but definitely a little bit more aggressive as well. But he has just been taking a decent amount of shots as well. I mean, this season, let's just say, forget the minutes. Let's just say when he logs 12, let's just say 13 plus field goal attempts. Let's just see. Again, this is stat views, by the way. When he takes 13 plus shots this season, he's over this fantasy score line in 16 of 19 games. And I could definitely see a healthy dose of field goal attempts for Denny Avdia tonight in this matchup versus Denver. So that's the first play. The second play, you can scroll down looking at Kawhi Leonard over 38 fantasy score against the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are just a pace-up matchup. They play at like the 2nd fastest pace in the league. And Kawhi's been playing really, really well. Last 4, 51, 47, 45, and 57.4 fantasy. Obviously, the minutes restriction is off, and he's just really been aggressive as of late. You're seeing, 16 plus field goal attempts in 4 of his last 4. Obviously, he has the stock upside, seeing 4 steals, 2 steals, 5 steals, 2 steals, 1 steal, one block, 2 steals, giving us that fantasy score upside that Kawhi does offer with his defensive prowess. And he's over in 3 straight games versus the Grizzlies, including 44 fantasy earlier this season versus Memphis. Then we just kind of look here at this season when he does play, 30, let's just say when he plays, 32 plus minutes. He's over this line in 8 of 12 games, averaging 41.4 fantasy. Again, playing really well over his last 4. And wings are Memphis's weakness. If we go to PRA and we look at small forward, they allow the most points, second most rebounds, second most assists, most points, third most rebounds, second most assists to the small forward position, right? So wings able to be super effective against the Grizzlies. Like we look at other forwards, fantasy score game log versus Memphis. Denny Avdia, shout out to Denny, just had 64.2 fantasy against Memphis. DeRozan 43, Evan Mobley 46.7, Kevin Durant 48, Trey Murphy 39, Najee Marshall 56. So you can see kind of just how it's been for wings offensively versus the Grizzlies. And then Kawhi per 36 minutes, just really over his last 30 days, which again is important because the minutes restriction is off. He's averaging 43.3 fantasy, 1.2 fantasy points per minute. So a great spot for Kawhi, under 40 fantasy points. Great spot for Denny. 2 player props for this YouTube video. Please drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.